wanted and currently on the run from the Nigerian police, the EFCC, and the Interpol for stealing $518.3 million from his Forex Ponzi scheme that has destroyed and ended the lives of many Nigerians, including retired civil servants, teachers, unemployed young men, women, and desperate Nigerians. Around 2010, when the Forex industry started booming in Nigeria, a lot of influencers started rising up, as well as people making millions and millions of dollars in the Forex industry. There were rise of many Forex companies, many Forex traders, and because of the promise of getting very rich at a very, very fast pace, it started attracting a lot of very young people, as well as civil servants, teachers, and retired government officials. Now, Maxwell Odum, who was a fairly successful businessman in his previous business, saw an opportunity to exploit the desperation of these people, and so he decided to take actions immediately. So he started a forex trading firm where he beckons on people to bring their money, and he has wide loads of experts who will trade on their behalf, and they make a return of 15 to 20% per annum, while all they do is just to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the proceeds of their money. And he also promised to also send people outside the country on vacations as a result of the profit they have made from this particular forex. In a country where inflation was high and job security was low, this promise was irresistible. The company then started to aggressively market through social media, organizing seminars, influencers, and endorsements from religious leaders and celebrities. The marketing strategy aggressively targeted some specific people, including civil servants and retirees looking for stable passive income, businessmen and professionals seeking alternative investment options, social media influencers, as well as his church members. In fact, in 2020, he started making so much money that he donated 1 billion naira 2 times in a row to his church in Port Harcourt, the Christ Embassy Church, because of how much money he has started making and how much people are pouring into it because of the awesome reward he had already promised them as yield for their money. Now you see how this scheme works is that they will ask for your money in exchange that they will trade for you, and they will claim that they have experts who will make big profits and then share this profit with these investors. And to make this scam very, very legit and seem legit to the public, he opened several offices in Lagos, Port Harcourt, in Abuja, where a lot of people could visit anytime they have a complaint. He also started showing his luxurious lifestyle. He also got endorsement from celebrities, as well as the church he attends in Port Harcourt, Christ Embassy. But how it actually works, after a lot of investigation, they discovered that when new people join and deposit money, he uses that same money to pay older investors. Now, those early investors got their profit on time, so they believed it was real and told more people to invest. As more and more people joined, it kept running, but only because new money was always coming in. At the initial period when this Forex scam was launched, people were getting their money as at when due. People were coming in, depositing money, and there were a lot of testimonials, even by people who have started making some profit from the investment they have been making. And due to this, the word quickly spread around, and more people invited their family members because they want them to also enjoy what they are enjoying. Some people invited their friends, their colleagues at work, their fellow retirees, their fellow employees in their place of work to also come and benefit from this particular scheme. People didn't just hear about this profit, they saw their friends, colleagues, and even family members who were making a lot of money, and no one wanted to be left behind. And because of this, it prevented people from having rational financial decisions in favor of chasing guaranteed returns. Teachers, doctors, engineers, and even retired people who had spent decades building their financial security began to believe this was their chance of quick wealth. Some investors sold their land, while others borrowed money from the bank, from loan apps, because they were confident that their investment would double in no time. The promise of high, fast, and consistent return covered their eyes, and they ignored any potential red flags about this particular Ponzi scheme. Why these investors were depositing money on this particular Forex scheme organized by Maxwell Odum? Because of a lot of money that started coming in, he decided to start a social media personal account where he started posting about a luxurious lifestyle, showing off the fleet of cars, the houses that he has as a result of the yield that he has made from this particular Forex scheme, which further convinced a lot of people to also invest in this scheme as well. In fact, he was even headlined as a young billionaire. He sponsored major social and religious events. He continued to donate millions to churches, expressing the desire that he was not just a successful entrepreneur but also a God-fearing man. Now, this show of wealth silenced doubters because they felt that since he could afford to show off this lifestyle, that means he could actually afford it. And because of it, he attracted more and more people, and it started to become a revolutionary thing where people had to bring people that were not initially interested in it to be a part of this particular scheme. In late 2020, trouble began to spread. Some investors started experiencing delay in withdrawals. Investors who previously received payments within hours or days were now waiting for weeks. Some received partial payment instead of the full amount they requested. Others were outrightly denied withdrawals without a clear explanation. You see, the big lie is that he claimed that this profit will come from Forex itself. But actually, it's actually a Ponzi scheme where once more people join, the money that these people have put into it, it will use it to pay the people that have joined earlier. So it seems like an illusion, and the cycle continues like that. At first, he assured them that it was just a bank upgrade and that their system is being restructured for the benefit of the investor. Then he told them to be patient. Why some believed him and were patient, even though they were facing some immediate problems, they were not be able to withdraw their money. Some sensed a bit of danger and actually rushed to withdraw their money from the platform. But it was actually too late. By early 2021, MBA Forex has actually collapsed. Investors, they flooded MBA Forex office. Customer service of the company stopped working as well. Then people started getting frustrated. The official MBA Forex website and social media pages went offline. Some investors who visited the company office found them locked. Some were abandoned. People who had once trusted the MBA Forex scheme now realized the truth that all their money were gone. In fact, there was even a retired civil servant who withdrew all his money, which was about 10 million naira, to invest in MBA Forex, hoping to get 15 to 20% returns. Suddenly realized that it was a Ponzi scheme, developed stroke overnight, and eventually died as a result of the shock and the loss of his money. In late 2021, it was discovered that he had absconded, leaving investors without their funds or without any explanation. All his offices were closed and nothing to trace him at all. He shut down all communication channels, including his phones, emails, and social media accounts. In fact, there were reports that he had moved his wealth to other countries, that he had funneled millions into offshore accounts, and had bought mansions in Dubai where he pays little or no tax at all. Now, even though the angry investors went on social media to post his pictures, his home address, as well as his personal details, hoping that one way somebody will identify him and bring him out to the public in order for him to give an explanation on what really happened. The man who had once flaunted his wealth is still nowhere to be found. With billions of naira missing, the EFCC started to investigate himself and his company. It was investigated for fraud, conspiracy, money laundering, and financial mismanagement. And finally, in December 2021, after a series of investigation by the EFCC, he was eventually declared wanted for fraud, money laundering, and misappropriation of funds. And he was mandated to report at the EFCC office in Port Harcourt as well as in Abuja. After the EFCC declared him wanted for all these particular crimes, the affected investors organized protests to demand for the return of their funds. In July 2022, protesters also stormed Christ Embassy Church in Port Harcourt, where he had donated 1 billion naira 2 years in a row, to voice out their demand to the church authorities and request for them to provide him in order for them to get a refund of the money that they couldn't withdraw, and to give explanation on how they are going to get their money back. Now, despite all these protests and issuing of statement by the security agency as well as by Interpol, is still nowhere to be found till this present day. Till today, victims of MBA Forex have not been compensated, and many fear that justice would never be served. Now, make sure you like the video if you want to see more of it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one.